Welcome back to Anderson Acres. The British Saanen is a remarkable dairy goat whose story begins in Switzerland, but truly comes into its own in the United Kingdom. While its ancestors originate from the Saanen Valley, the British Saanen developed as British breeders crossed imported Swiss Saanens with the best of their local dairy stock. This wasn't done casually. It was a deliberate effort to create a goat that kept the Saanen's famous milk production while gaining the hardiness and structure needed for the UK's cooler, wetter weather. Over many generations, the British Saanen established itself as a distinct type, recognized and recorded through the British Goat Society's herd books. Today, it stands as one of the most iconic dairy breeds in Britain, shaped by the environment and selective breeding priorities unique to that region. In appearance, the British Saanen is similar to the Swiss Saanen but with its own unmistakable identity. These goats are large, elegant, and clearly built for dairy work, yet they often carry a little more bone and sturdiness than their Swiss relatives. Their coats are typically white or cream, clean and uniform in color, with slightly more pigmentation allowed, and even appreciated, around the eyes, nose, and ears. That subtle pigment offers protection against sun sensitivity, a trait that British breeders intentionally encouraged. The coat remains short and sleek, lending them a polished, refined look. Everything about the British Saanen's frame, from its long, deep body to its smooth top line and strong legs, reflects decades of structured, focused breeding aimed at health, longevity, and production. The head of a British Saanen carries the same dairy refinement that makes the breed so striking. They usually have a straight or gently dished profile with upright, alert ears and a balanced, feminine expression in the does. Many herds disbud their kids for ease and safety, but naturally horned animals are still present within the breed. Udders are a key focus of British Saanen breeding programs, and well-kept does display excellent udder attachments both fore and rear. A broad udder floor, correct teat placement, and a well-shaped mammary system ensure ease of milking and long-term productivity. These conformation traits have been preserved so successfully that British Saanens are now known for exceptional udder quality across multiple lactations. Temperament is one of the breed's greatest selling points. British Saanens are generally gentle, cooperative, and affectionate, making them a favorite for family farms and small dairies alike. Their calm personalities lend themselves well to daily handling routines, whether it's milking, hoof trimming, or basic care. They're not typically loud or bossy, though, but like all goats, they will absolutely announce that they're ready for breakfast. Many keepers note that British Saanens bond deeply with their people, following them around the barnyard and thriving on routine interaction. This steady, agreeable disposition is one of the reasons that British Saanens are often considered a beginner-friendly dairy breed. When it comes to milk production, the British Saanen is truly in a league of its own. This breed was developed with a clear purpose: produce a high volume of milk over long, even lactations. Modern British Saanens are exceptional producers, with many documented through the UK's milk recording programs. Their milk is known for being lower in butterfat than the rich creamy breeds like the Anglo-Nubian, usually falling around 3 to 3.5%, but the sheer quantity of milk often means that you still end up with abundant yogurt, cheese, and other dairy products. Their ability to maintain consistent production deep into the lactation cycle is one of their defining strengths, making them a reliable choice for small-scale dairies and hobby farms that depend on predictable yields. In terms of hardiness, British Saanens were developed to thrive in the varied and often damp climates of the UK. They are generally more tolerant of cold, wet weather than the Swiss Saanen, which can be sensitive to moisture-related issues if not properly managed. British lines tend to have stronger constitutions, robust frames, and slightly denser coats, all of which contribute to their overall resilience. However, like all Saanen-type goats, they can be sensitive to intense heat and strong sunlight and will benefit from ample shade and ventilation in hotter climates. In temperate regions with mild summers and cool winters, conditions similar to their own homeland, British Saanens typically perform beautifully. Breed status remains strongest in the United Kingdom, where the British Saanen is one of the primary dairy goat types maintained by serious breeders and dairy enthusiasts. They are well represented in shows, milk testing programs, and small commercial dairies throughout Britain. Outside the UK, true British Saanens are far less common. In North America, for example, the term Saanen usually refers to the original Swiss type, and only a handful of herds work with imported British lines. In mainland Europe, the Swiss Saanen dominates, and the British subtype is rarely seen. This means that in much of the world, finding genuine British Saanen genetics can be difficult, making them more of a specialty breed beyond the UK's borders. British Saanens are commonly kept in the UK and in select regions where British bloodlines have been exported internationally. They flourish in climates similar to Britain's, cool, moist, and moderate, and tend to integrate well into dairy-focused hobby farms. Their combination of calm temperament, high milk output, and structural soundness makes them especially appealing to goat keepers who want a dependable dairy doe with an excellent disposition. While they can adapt to various management styles, they shine brightest on farms with a steady routine and a commitment to regular milking and good forage. For a hobby farm, the British Saanen is an outstanding choice if your goal is milk production paired with gentleness and ease of handling. These goats are particularly well suited to families, small homesteads, and artisan dairies where daily milking is part of the rhythm of life. They are ideal for farms that want a couple of high-yielding does rather than a large herd to manage. Their placid nature makes them excellent for young or beginner handlers, and their production levels ensure you'll always have plenty of milk to work with. If you want goats primarily for pasture decoration or occasional milking, other breeds might be more fitting for you, but if you want a serious dairy partner, the British Saanen is one of the best matches you'll find. That's about it for us here today at Anderson Acres. If you've ever raised British Saanens, or if you're considering adding one to your herd, I'd love to hear about your experiences in the comments. We'll see you tomorrow.